Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here and talk to you all. So I'm the CEO of Tethyan Resources, and that's my clicker. So Tethyan Resources is a mineral exploration company. We're now listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange, and our prime focus is on our projects in Serbia. Before I get into detail on the projects, I suppose if we have potential investors and so on in the audience, it's good to know where we stand. So we currently have about 28 million shares outstanding, and I think of interest, we used to be listed on the AIM market here in London. However, as most of our investment interest was coming out of Canada and North America, which is also where myself and the rest of my board have more experience, we decided to delist from the AIM market at the end of last year, and we're now solely listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, the venture market. We're currently trading at around 25 to 30 cents a share, and that puts us at a market cap of about $7 to $8 million. Interestingly, this time last year on AIM, we were trading at about double that, and obviously I'm here to sell my company to you, but I think if anything, the projects have got stronger, but we lost a bit of momentum with that transfer across to the Toronto Exchange, which I think is going to be a good thing in the long run. But this is really a bit of a fresh start for us, and as you'll see, our projects as we go into the exploration season this summer are looking really strong. Just a little bit of background on why the name Tethyan. If there's any geologists in the audience, they may know of the Tethys Ocean. Essentially, the continents to the north of this belt, so Europe and parts of Russia, etc., used to be divided from India and Africa by an ocean. It's about 100 million years ago. And over time, that ocean closed and the continents collided, which produced the mountain range that we can see here, running through from Southeast Asia and the Himalayas into Iran, Armenia, Turkey, and into Southeast Asia. And it's where I've spent my career as a geologist. Initially in Armenia, east of Turkey, where I led the geological development of a project which we discovered a new 5 million ounces of gold there, and that's currently in construction and will be the largest gold mine in the region and the largest taxpayer in the country. So what I want to try and do is recreate that success a bit further along the belt in Eastern Europe. We're pretty active throughout the Balkans region, but our prime focus and our main assets are in the country Serbia. Of the countries in the area, it's certainly the most progressive in terms of supporting investment in the mining industry. They introduced a new mining law about 2 years ago, which was written in communication with mining companies to create something that is practical and fosters investment in the industry. And that's working. There's a series of well-known mid-tier and major companies now very active in Serbia. Eldorado Gold, Rio Tinto, Freeport, Nevsun, Dundee. Interestingly, Nevsun entered the area about 18 months ago with a major acquisition of Reservoir Minerals, who also made a great discovery in Serbia. So, at the risk of getting too technical here, this map on the right is showing roughly some of the geology in a part of the south of Serbia, and it's an area which, during the time when the area was known as Yugoslavia, was one of the most significant mining camps in Europe. It accounted for 80% of Yugoslavia's mineral wealth, and now the majority of the belt is in Kosovo and extends north into Serbia. So we're consolidating ownership of a series of licensed areas in that area which contain multiple historical operating mines and resources that were discovered and explored by the Yugoslav geologists, but due to the conflicts in that part of the world, never either got into production or the producing mines were shut down and haven't been reopened. So it's a great opportunity for us to really fast-track our exploration. This isn't a huge amount of moose pasture, and we're saying we're good guys and we think there's something there. There are a list here of 12 prospects throughout our licenses with historical Roman and more recent mining on them. And we've just started exploring one of those, and we've got multiple other opportunities which we'll explore. The one that we have been exploring, we began to explore early last year, and it's called the Rudinitza porphyry. It's a copper-gold deposit, and we started by doing some soil sampling. which is these colors here. They are contours of the concentration of gold in the soils. And the red areas indicate a concentration greater than 0.1 grams per ton gold. In fact, a lot of this area down here grades at between 0.3 and 0.6 grams per ton gold, which some people may recognize is getting towards ore grade in a large tonnage type setting. So we've drilled just 8 drill holes here. We don't have a resource yet, and the 8 drill holes are clustered here on that southern anomaly and at one end of it. However, the first drill hole drilled from surface, 567 meters at 0.28% copper, 0.45 grams per ton gold, and ended in mineralization. And this immediately told us this is a significant project. Okay, these are pretty substantial length intersections with reasonable grades. If we can prove up enough tons of this material, we believe that we're onto a potentially economic deposit here. One of the key factors that give us the advantage is that within 3 kilometers of this, we've got an operating railway line, electrical lines, water, and it's a historical mining district with people who understand and support the industry. So whereas lots of these are being discovered in remote parts of the Andes and Canada, this has significant cost savings by being in Europe and with the infrastructure advantages. So clearly, we need to expand our drilling and drill these areas. There's evidence from our geophysical work that these 2 zones join up at depth. Of interest, we believe that this area, which is about 500 by 500 meters, that alone, if we prove up similar grades to that first drill hole, could potentially support an economic mine. And obviously, we've got a lot more ground to cover. It could be significantly larger. Now, that area we were looking at is just down here. That was the blow up of that area. We own the rights to this whole area and other licenses surrounding. But a key thing we announced about 2 weeks ago is the acquisition of another Serbian company which owns some of the existing licenses around here, including the area with this strange cutout of our license here. Now, these are 2 historical mines. They were in production until about the year 2001. And there are significant resources just sitting in the ground there. They actually outcrop of lead, zinc, and silver. People may have noticed the zinc price has done very well in the last year or so. As supply is significantly lagged behind demand. So we've compiled the historical data. We've put this all together in a 3D model, and we're confident that there is potential for an economic deposit here. It extends onto our current area. There's also multiple other historical zinc occurrences here, and to the west, where we've just acquired another area. So this could be a major lead-zinc mining district. And of interest, just last year, a lead-zinc mine with what we think is similar tenure to what we will discover here was sold last year for about $400 million to Central Asia Metals. And clearly, us valued at $8 million right now, if we can replicate something of that success, then we have a long way to go. So next steps, the name Taor is the name of the company we're acquiring. So that'll be complete over the next 1 to 2 months. We'll immediately get the drill rigs onto site. We've already targeted where we've got significant mineralization, so we can get the drill rigs straight into that. So we'll confirm that mineralization, bring that opportunity really to the forefront, continue exploring our Rudinitza porphyry. This is something which may be more appealing to large mining companies, so we're going to investigate partnerships and joint ventures with major mining companies, and obviously develop multiple other targets that we've got as we have exploration programs ongoing throughout the region. And a crucial thing is also developing our market awareness or visibility. As a new story on the Toronto Stock Exchange, few people know about us, and I think with a few more eyes on the company, we can see a lot more activity on the stock. So the investment case, this is really the sales pitch. Our market capitalization down here at about $8 million. Competitors or peers, Medgold example, are also in Serbia. They haven't drilled a hole yet. They're trading at about 20 million market cap. This is roughly where we were last year before we lost that bit of momentum with the change of stock exchange. So really what we want to do now is get back on the ground as the snow thaws, drill these new opportunities, And that should be our step 1 goal over the next 2 to 4 months. And then as we define resources, hopefully we work our way up to some of these other peers which have similar. This was focused on copper-gold opportunities. So please keep an eye on us, and you're welcome to get in touch if you have any questions. Thanks very much.